Hi, this is Joe again with another review. I'm going to say in this video I'm going to be doing a classic television show. Excuse me. I'm going to be doing a classic TV show for this video. And of course it's the 1970s show Charlie's Angels. Yes, I'm actually doing Charlie's Angels. And of course this show of course ran for 5 years on ABC from 1976 to 1981. So yes, this is the 40th anniversary year of the story of Charlie's Angels. And of course, two of the original stars were fortunately no longer with us. And of course, there's Farrah Fawcett, of course, most famously died of cancer, and John Forsythe, who was the voice of Charlie. Of course, the other original stars were, of course, with Kate Jackson, Jacqueline Smith, and David Doyle. And of course, over the course of the rest of the season, or the rest of the series, you also had Charlotte, you had Shelley Mack, and of course, and finally, you had Tanya Roberts filling out the rest of the cast throughout the rest of the series. So of course, this show, what those of you who don't know, Charlie's Angels is the show that starred, of course, the main original stars were, of course, Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, and Jacqueline Smith, plus David Doyle, are working for a Charles Townsend detective agency. And of course, the guy who ran the whole thing was named Charlie, and you never see his face. You only hear his voice through a speakerphone on intercom, and you never see his face. So he's been like a mystery. What Charlie actually looked like, and like I said, his voice was provided by John Forsythe from Dynasty. So you never actually see his face, but you do see like from behind. It was actually a body double, by the way. It was never actually John Forsythe, just his voice, and you know it became a joke of the series. So you never see this guy. I mean, who the hell is this guy? Who is this guy who's paying us salary? We want to meet the guy who hired us, and you never see it. You never see this guy. Of course, over the course of the series, this is one of the first television shows where actually have women in the forefront being the heroes of the show instead of being stereotypical the damsel in distress. Well, that does happen over the course of the series because they always get like some kind of cliffhanger before a commercial break. Where one of the angels, for some reason they're called angels, instead of being called like detectives, they're always called angels. So for some reason, because of hat. Of course, in the series, you have these beautiful, hot, smart women, you know, being detectives. Of course, no one ever believes that these women who are so hot were, of course, detectives. And that's, of course, part of the charm of the show. But Charlie's Angels is, in fact, a guilty pleasure for a lot of people, especially for me. And I was about 5 years old when the show came on the air, and I'm actually embarrassed to admit it at this point. But actually, when I was about 5 years old, I actually had, I'm not joking, a Charlie's Angels t-shirt, and I actually wore this t-shirt with the original three girls on the show, uh, for a picture day when I was in kindergarten. So that's how old the show was. When I was in kindergarten when the show started. And not only that, but I also remember having at the time a Charlie's Angels board game. Yes, there was a Charlie's Angels board game. I don't know if there was a commercial of it on YouTube. I don't know. I haven't looked into that. But there is a show, a board game on that. But getting back to the show itself, it was a very iconic show and a guilty pleasure because a lot of women saw it because there's very few shows at that time. Don't forget the show came out debuted on ABC in 1976. So the only other shows around that time that actually had a woman as the lead, uh, as the lead antagonist, and of course not only that, but could potentially be a hero in every single episode was Policewoman, starring Angie Dickinson, which was very early 70s. You had The Bionic Woman, who I believe the Bionic Woman was storing by that time, or just about to store. And you also you have Wonder Woman, who stored the same, which debuted the same year as Charlie's Angels did. So you sort of have transition from men being detectives only and women being, you know, the object of the detective saving in the episode. This case was the opposite, and that's what made the show good and made the show that. And matter of fact, ABC didn't even think that the show was going to be a hit. They thought it was going to be a dud. Um, but it worked. And one of the main things that worked is not only, of course, the three beautiful women who starred in the show, but also for Farrah Fawcett, was one of the original cast members, and everybody copied. A lot of the women went into the there was like two hairstyles. By 1976, there were two hairstyles that everybody copied. Either if you were brunette, you copied Dorothy Hamill. If you were blonde, you copied Farrah Fawcett's hairdo. Of course, those of you who don't know Dorothy Hamill was the Olympic figure skater. The gold medal figure skater, I think in the '76 Winter Olympics. So a lot of people copy those. A lot of women copy those two hairstyles. And of course, guys who are fascinated with Farrah Fawcett used to have the famous poster with her in the red swimsuit with her nipples pushed through the swimsuit. And a cousin of mine actually had that poster for a long time in his bedroom. Uh, but she was the face and the body of the show, even though she never once can I ever remember seeing Farrah Fawcett in a bikini. And another thing that was fascinating about the show is that you saw the women, particularly Jacqueline Smith, Cheryl Ladd, and Tanya Roberts. The three of them were three girls on the show who mostly were in bikinis throughout the course of the series. And then after a while, people got disgusted over the fact, hey, why can't you ever have an episode where the girls were not in bikinis? But then when the ratings started to drop, people said, hey, where's the bikinis? We want to see the girls in bikinis. Then they would write an episode where there had to be scuba diving, or they had to be like lifeguards, or they had to there was one famous episode when they were in the prison and they were wearing towels, and they had to open up the towels to the prison guards, so it would show them not to be wearing high weapons anywhere. In the nether regions. But of course, like I said earlier, Farrah Fawcett was the face of the show. As a matter of fact, she was actually married to Lee Majors at the time. And of course, his show was the $6 Million Man. I think his show was also starting about that time. And the thing was that he was becoming jealous of her because she was the object of everybody's very straight man's fantasy. And of course, women wanted to look like her, especially with the hairdo, which I just mentioned. So what happened was, one of the rumors that came about was that Lee Majors actually forced Farrah to leave the show because he was becoming jealous of her. That he was stealing all of his glory because, like I said, he was just starting a $6 Million Man. Then became a big science fiction action show, and I mean the show got off to a good start, but more people were more fascinated with Farrah than with him or his show, because his show was, it was a good show, was popular, it was also received a cult following, but not as huge of a following as Charlie's Angels was getting at that time. So she left the show. So of course the producers were going, oh my god, what are we going to do without Farrah? Our ratings are going to drop because people were watching the show for Farrah, and of course to see Jacqueline Smith in a bikini, which is all the women would drop that gorgeous. The only one who was not interested in wearing all these fashion and wearing swimsuits was Kate Jackson. She was the only, I believe she was the only one of all the women who were cast on this show to never appear in not even in a one-piece swimsuit, never. And I think that's because she was not interested in that. I think she was taking the part more seriously. She was taking the show more seriously, and didn't want to deal with the sex appeal. She wanted to be just a straight detective show, and the hell with the sex appeal. But that's not what people wanted at the time. Well, truly wanted the action, truly wanted good plot lines, which few and far between the Charlie's Angels. But they wanted the sex appeal and the women bringing the fancy, the fancy dresses, and of course they wanted the girls in as many bikinis as possible for the course of the series. And of course, Kate Jackson did not take part in that. Farrah Fawcett did very little. So when Farrah left, they said, "Oh my God, what are we going to do now?" And they hired Cheryl who was doing bits and pieces here and there, and she did make a very famous guest appearance on Happy Days during the second season, which I previously reviewed the second season of Happy Days before, so check the video out if you haven't seen it. And she took over and she did great, and she stayed on the rest for 4 years. She's still on the show for 4 years. She plays Farrah, and she played more comedic role because she was playing more of a rookie, and she messed up more than her character did, and which is something that Farrah didn't do. Farrah did more of the flirting, and I think the show that didn't flirt with anybody on this when you were on any of the episodes, but she was more clumsy. And she put a lot of comedy into her part, and I think that's what worked over with the viewers. But after 3 years, Kate Jackson left. I think because she had enough, and they hired Shelley Mack, and Shelley Mack came in the 4th year, and the fans didn't like her all that much, so she left. And of course, they brought in Tanya Roberts, who was a redhead. And originally, when they conceived Charlie's Angels, they originally wanted to have a blonde, brunette, and a redhead for the show. Fortunately, of course, actually, we all know now that they have 2 brunettes and 1 blonde, and they kept the 1 blonde thing going until Tanya Roberts came on. Well, Shelley Mack was a blonde, so you had 2 blondes and 1 brunette, and then when Tanya Roberts came on, now you had 1 of each. And the only original, other than David Doyle and the voice of John Forsythe, the only one who stayed on the show for the whole 5-year run was Jaclyn Smith. And to me, even though now it's been 40 years later, she's still just as good, and she looks just the same today as she did 40 years ago. I mean, this woman, God bless her, she never aged. You can see the same thing for Cheryl Lash. She never aged either, or Kate Jackson. But unfortunately, of course, there was some tension going on with Farrah because unfortunately, like I said earlier, she left the show. There was a long time, I think, a rift between the 3 girls for a while, and then, of course, eventually, when she got diagnosed with cancer, they figured to make up before she died, and of course, she eventually died on the same day that Michael Jackson died. On June 25th, 2009, she died from a very rare form of cancer. I forgot what type it was, but when she died, of course, naturally, she became a real angel. And there was the headlines in the papers and online that a fictional angel became a real angel in real life. And, it's a shame what happened to Farrah. And one of the reasons why Farrah left the show, not only the one that I mentioned, was because she wanted to go into movies. I think she only had like 2 real good movies, or at least decent movies that she did. One was The Burning Bed, which I never saw. But one I have seen was called Extremities, which is based on the play that she was in. I haven't seen that movie for a long time, but maybe I'll do a review of it sometime down the line. But I don't know, I haven't made my mind on that. It's one of the few movies I have in my collection I didn't do a review on. But anyway, get back to the show. I think Charlie's Angels still holds up 40 years later. I was not interested in the 2 theatrical movies that came out starring Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, and Cameron Diaz, because I think they were crap. It was great seeing Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz in bikinis because they were hot. But other than that, I was just not interested in the live action films because I think it was making more of a parody of the television show. Though Drew Barrymore, and I like Drew Barrymore, Um, she produced the two movies, but I wasn't that interested in it because of the fact that I felt it was like the Brady Bunch movies. It was a parody of the television show, and of course I don't. If it's totally original how the three girls got together, if they showed that in the film, or at least the original Charlie's Angels film, they might have been interested, but they didn't go there. Uh, but I know there was a Charlie's Angels reboot, which I saw by the way, and that was crap. And which I think NBC did that. Excuse me, and that was terrible. The reboot show that came on a few years ago, that was god awful. So please avoid the reboot. I know there are episodes of the Charlie's Angels reboot television series on YouTube. I have no idea. You can check it out if it is on there. Um, but it's crap. I'll be embarrassed. And the guy whoever, if that show is the reboot show, if that's and any of those episodes are posted on YouTube, the person who posted it should be embarrassed because that show is awful. It was god awful. Or what made the original show good didn't translate into the reboot show. Didn't translate it at all. It was terrible. It was awful. So please avoid it. So that's my review of. I think I pretty much ran out of stuff to say on this review. This is my review of the Charlie's Angels television show. Please click on this video. Please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all of my videos on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. That's ROWDY. And then C.com. There's the homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore. Check out all of his content, and that's his TV trash videos, but all of his content. Because he does have other YouTube critics on his website, so check out all of his content as well, not just my videos, but his videos. Check out everything. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. And one more thing, cops' lives matter.